So welcome in. This is going to be the first of what I am calling the Farm Tour series. The point of this is to do a quick recap and update on all the properties we're working on instead of trying to break all those up into their own individual videos. It gets redundant. You don't want to see me walk around and talk about the same property for 5 minutes. About a minute, minute and a half max per property. Update you where we are. That way you've got a bearing. If you're working on properties, you can compare it, whether your planting is ahead or behind us. You've got some general bearing as to what to expect, as well as just see what I've got going on here. First up is the OG of all the rice planting videos. We're in what we call the upper rice swamp, and as anticipated, she looks fantastic. We have a ton of growth in here, about 12, almost 15-inch tall rice. Beautiful lush color, absolutely no moisture problems in here at all. The ground is practically a muddy, wet mess. Got some fresh deer tracks in here. This entire bank through here was where we reseeded the Japanese millet, areas we missed. It germinated fantastic. Japanese millet's coming in right behind all this rice. Another quick look at the reseeded Japanese millet areas. All that millet is coming up nicely, about 3 or 4 inches tall. Area that otherwise would not have had any growth whatsoever, because when we seeded that rice, nothing grew right here. A little bit of touch up, a couple weeks later, we greened it up nicely. The beavers continue to be under control here. No activity in the cage at all. Water level, still where we need it. This rice was planted almost exactly 1 month ago, the Friday before July 4th weekend. So 1 month progress and update, everything is looking good. If you just caught the last Clover food plot video, this was the other food plot that I was referencing. This one's got a lot of chicory in it, but as well as clover, and it's looking pretty good. I think it's been about 6 weeks, 2 months since we came in here and sprayed it with the IMOX and the clethodim, and it looks pretty good. There are some broadleaf weeds in here as expected, but everything you see here in the foreground is either chicory or clover. A lot of arrowleaf clover, some red clover, some white clover. It's actually looking pretty good to be almost August 1st. We'll probably come in here and mow it one time before deer season comes in this fall, just to clean it up a little bit and give that clover a chance to really take off before deer season. Property number 2. Oh man, this is what we call the lower swamp. We had all this planted in millet last year, but this year we converted it to rice. And everything you see green is straight up rice. No millet in here whatsoever, and there's really no weeds in here either, which is pretty impressive. All just clean agricultural rice. A lot of deer tracks in this upper end as well. This was planted 1 week after the upper swamp, so you're looking at about 3 weeks of growth here. But we've got 1.5 acres, I bet, of rice out here by the time you add up the whole upper end and add up the entire perimeter. 3 weeks after planting, water level still low, a lot of rice in the lower swamp. Property number 3, middle of the day, out here at the dove farm, and ran about a dozen doves sitting in these sunflowers in this little hole out here. This is July 31st, and almost all those seeds have already fallen to the ground. So we've got exactly a month till the opener, so that's about right. These seeds are going to be on the ground for the next few weeks. There's a whole carpet of sunflower seeds down here. There go another pair of doves. Doves are all in these sunflowers. I just found where the doves were sitting, and I can see why. I mean, there are so many sunflower seeds just stacked up on the ground here. Pretty incredible. What do you think, buddy? Yeah. Got my little one and my big one with me today. I focused most of my time before in that lower section. This is that upper end, and we really don't have any grass in here. Our biggest issue are the broadleafs, and I believe that's thistle. That seems to be a very common weed out here for us. It's probably not controlled with a pre-emergence. But we've got really good looking bare ground. All the sunflowers are starting to dry out here in the home stretch. I want to show you the sheer size of these heads here. I mean, that is an absolute monster. Absolute monster heads on these Clearfield sunflowers. Gonna drop a lot of seed. Take a quick look at the corn here. Still does not present very dry whatsoever. So I think we'll probably start seeing this corn start to yellow out like this really good in the next coming weeks with all this heat. Let's take a look at one more cob since it's been a week since we've been out here. Yes, that is noticeably drier than it was a week ago. It's even got that darker, dried out deer corn look to it. Fantastic. Still got a month for the opener, and we're showing definite signs of drying out here. So I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. How'd you get so wet? Did you jump in the pond?
No, I dumped a bunch of water on me.
Oh, you dumped a bunch of water? I'm about to do the same thing. It is hot out here. If you caught the last video, you know we got a bunch of millet out here, and we've got a mystery of the missing pearl millet, because we've got a ton of Japanese millet, some really good sized Japanese millet heads, and there's brown top millet even mixed in here with it, and the rest of the field is all brown top millet, but not any pearl millet. So I do think they sold us the wrong millet when they were scooping it out. And a look at from this uppermost end of the field here, you can tell exactly how much brown top millet really is in here. We are absolutely loaded. I cannot wait to start seeing this yellow out, and we're gonna set this field on fire. One more property to visit, that's the rice farm pond right up the road here. Let's go take a look at it, and I'm hoping the fertilizer I put out didn't burn that rice, because it's been 90s all week, hot sun and no rain. Hope it didn't burn it. Final stop of the farm tour, the farm pond where we planted the Japanese millet and the rice. And a week ago we're out here fertilizing, and it does not appear we burned anything up, which is fantastic news. I was a little bit worried. But the growth has already jumped up even more, and that is 100% smartweed. Now that that broadleaf is flushed out more, I can tell this is all a mixture of smartweed and rice. But we're looking great 1 week after fertilizing. Gonna check on this rice out here real quick that was in the standing water. That was a first for me to have the rice actually grow that was broadcasted into the standing water, and it still appears to be very happy. All the little green shoots are rice that were broadcasted into about 4 to 6 inches of standing water. Now this water came back off of it with this drought this past week, and it all is very, very happy. That's a wrap. First of the farm tour series in the books. Be looking for more of these. I might do them weekly, every 2 weeks or so throughout the rest of summer and into fall as we get ready to start flooding everything come November. Thanks for watching. God bless. Take care.